chasing the dream and we're in it together. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
I'm just gonna roll my eyes at you probably multiple times today.
Whatever.
Testing.
1, 2.
You see my chest moving? Not you moving your shoulders. What is this?
Go together.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the 6A podcast. I'm Ja.
And I'm Michelle.
So, okay, as kids, I feel like, we could not wait to be adults, right? But I also kind of feel like we were thinking that maybe there was going to be like some magical moment where I just knew I'm grown. But that doesn't exist. It just really doesn't exist. Do you feel like there was a moment in your life where that something happened where you finally was like, yeah, like I'm an adult? Especially because, look, you can die for your country at 18, can't smoke or drink, which is crazy. And then, you can start drinking and smoking at 21, sure. But I don't think anybody would agree that 18 and 21 are like you're really you've grown. Like you're an adult on paper, but you ain't grown yet. So what was that I'm grown moment for you?
That was a good question.
So basically what you're saying is you still ain't grow up.
No, I think it's just hard for me because having all them stepbrothers and sisters, I was raising kids and doing all that stuff from young. So literally 10 on up, it was nothing really changed. But maybe when I got my first apartment.
Oh, I can see that. See, and that's the thing for me. I joined the Navy pretty early in life. I literally was 17 when I signed up. So I was still very much a teenager when I went to the Navy. And then on top of that, we basically kind of had the college experience because we were in barracks and stuff like that. So, barracks / dorms, right? So it's we were doing very childish things still, but yet, for a lot of us, because after a certain point, you have to get a place to stay that's not on site. So we literally bought a house, or I shouldn't say bought a house, but we rented a house when we were in upstate New York, right? So we are at that point. I was, I think, 19. So I'm 19 and I'm renting my first place with other 19 to 23-year-olds, right? But nobody in that house acted grown. We were definitely doing a bunch of partying and nonsense. So I still wouldn't even at that point say that I was grown. I didn't have any true responsibilities. I just had somewhere that I had to show up. That's it. So I don't know if I would count that. I think maybe you feel like there's a lot of moments that I had that I was like, man, nobody's coming to save me, but not necessarily oh, I'm an adult now. I think I didn't really feel like that until I actually had my first interview. When I was getting out of the Navy and I had an interview, because it was the scariest thing, because I'm from the time, so first I had parents that I depended on, and then I went to the military, and although technically, yes, I made that money on my own, it never really felt like on my own because I had a place to be all the time.
Right.
And even if I didn't have a place to stay, I could always sleep on the ship. So I always had a place to stay. I always had a place to lay my head. And I always had somewhere to be. I always knew exactly where I was supposed to be when I was supposed to be there. So it was very strict. And then I was getting out and I was like, oh my God, where am I going to get money from? And it's oh, I got to get a job. Oh, how do I do that? Oh, I got to talk to somebody and tell them I'm good at things.
Right.
How do I translate these things that I did in the military to the real world? If you would have asked me, I'd be like, I'm not qualified for any of that stuff, because I'm I was a janitor and I was a nuclear operator, but I can say that now. Then I don't think I would have really seen it like that. I'm I stood watch. I did maintenance. I turned valves.
Right.
So my adult moment was definitely my first interview, where it was all about me, all about my skills, what I was going to bring to the team, why they should choose me. And that was when it really hit me. I was like, I'm grown up. I'm grown up. I mean, I already have bills to pay, sure, but no, it was definitely the being out of the Navy, out on my own, and everything being now solely my responsibility.
No, I was gonna say that makes sense, because in the military, you had your you're getting paid regardless. You know what you need to
Yeah.
do, and that check is steadily coming in. So like, yeah, you have bills, you have all that, but it's like I don't need to worry about where that money's coming from
No, for
because it's
real.
coming in. So that makes it. I think that's how I felt too. Like my first apartment, like not living with my mother
That actually
was
makes sense.
like, oh, okay, now I got kids and an apartment. So now, yeah, this all me. So
It's
yeah,
crazy. But it's so crazy because I feel like when I was a kid, I couldn't wait to be grown. And then when I finally was grown, I'm like, I want to be a kid again. Like this is crazy because now I got all these responsibilities and I can't go back. This is crazy.
I don't know what we was thinking.
I don't know. We want to grow up
At
so
all.
fast. We so quick. Like I need to grow up. I want to be grown. Like I can't wait to be grown so I can do what I want.
Yeah, do what you want comes with a lot of other shit that
I
you
still
don't
can't
want.
do what I want. I literally still don't do what I want. It's crazy. All right, guys. So let's get into Court Vision. This week, what we're going to be doing is we're going to introduce you to two of the teams from Unrivaled, and we'll be doing that for the next few weeks until we complete all the teams. This week, we will start with Breeze and Lunar Owls. Before we get started, I would like to add that we did forget something in the describing of Unrivaled, which is that each team has a max of 6 players. So you cannot have more than 6 players. With that being said, if you ever have less than 5 players, you also get a player from, you're eligible to get a player from the player pool. So there's like a talent pool that they kind of keep on standby just in case there aren't enough players on any given team any given night. So this I believe is better than they did last year. Like they had a pool last year, but I don't think they had as many players in that pool this year. The pool's pretty good. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing this week. So let's get into it. Let's talk about each player's strengths and weaknesses, how well they have gelled or not as a team so far, and what we think their biggest challenges are for the rest of the season. Now, before I say anything, I know y'all probably getting this super late, and I'm so sorry for that, but we got one. We literally got one. Man, I was here screaming, going crazy. She wasn't even in the room. He was
because
cooking.
you were going against the rules.
See, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you shouldn't have been watching that game without me.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't make any agreement.
Yeah.
No such agreement has
Are
been
you
made.
going to tell that lie? Continue.
So anyway, and man, it was fantastic. It was phenomenal. Like literally, it felt so different than how she normally goes up. And we of course learned that Lisa Leslie got her hands on her. And I mean, who better than the first WNBA dunker? Huh? Who better than her?
She always changed these
Every
players when she
single
worked with
time.
them.
I love it. Every time you hear her say like, oh, and honestly, a lot of the times I love that she also like doesn't necessarily say anything until after we like see something and it's like, oh, something's changed about this person's game. I wonder what that was. And then all of a sudden then you start to hear her like start talking about, yeah, I love seeing that they're actually like implementing some of the stuff that we worked on. It's like, oh, so that's what happened. Yeah, it was great. And what I really loved about Dom's game since then is that it's not just that dunk, right? Like I am seeing movements from her that I wasn't seeing before.
She's more confident.
Yeah.
in like her game.
It really felt like before, like like I said before, like I felt like her body was kind of flailing. She was like really all over the place and not necessarily well coordinated. But that couldn't, and I felt like that can't really be true about this woman. Like she's been playing, so there's no way that she's not coordinated. But I don't think that the issue was coordination as much as it was, like you said, confidence, which I believe she gained through that little session she had
I think
with
it
Lisa
was
Leslie.
confidence and being unsure of like where she fit, what her role was.
Yeah. And maybe
so
fear.
now, she definitely gave off timid sometimes.
Yes,
not wanting to get hit.
But that's not what I'm seeing now. I'm seeing her going into people's bodies. Oh man, I loved because listen, I love AT, but everybody knows she a bully down there. And that's actually one of the things I love about her. She played bully ball. But that being said, it was so nice seeing Dom like putting putting body on body. Like she was really like giving it to AT, and AT was, I mean, she was standing her ground, but still it's just like okay, like Dom is moving now. Dom is moving.
And if she's like picking this up now, she's only 19.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy.
just imagine
I think
a year, 2 years, or something like that.
Maybe he's turned 20 by now. She can't still be 19, right? We don't know. We don't know how old she is. She was 19 when she was in the W, but she might be 20 now.
Or getting ready to be.
Don't stay 19 forever. We wish.
Can.
You could try. You could tell people you're 19.
Yeah.
I told somebody I was 36 today.
How old are you?
35.
Oh,
I'll be 36
that
this year.
happens.
But what happened was I was trying to hurry up and answer the question, so I did quick math in my head, and I knew I was born in 1990 and that it was 2026, and I was like 36, and I was like, but I ain't want to. I ain't tell them I was
I'm
wrong
not gonna
though.
tell you that.
I ain't even going. I ain't even going to tell them when my birthday come. I'm not. I'm just gonna let it come and go, and then I'll actually be 36, so it'll be fine.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so Dom, amazing. I really think that she brings something to this team that they otherwise wouldn't have. I mean, come on, you got somebody on your team that not only can dunk, but that we've seen it, and so we know that it's yeah. And the crowd went stupid. Not to still be talking about this dunk, but the crowd went dumb.
Well, you think about we've been watching her through the WNBA season, thinking it was going to happen, right? You're seeing on social media during the practices and all that, the warm up, she's dunking, and then you never see it in a game. Then here comes Unrivaled. We're like, we're for sure gonna see it, and we get close, and then you don't see it, and it's like,
and I'm like,
girl,
every time.
why we keep putting these videos out of you dunking the game? So it was, yeah.
I sat up in my chair. I sat up in my chair so many times, but that time I don't know what it was. I knew it was happening. Like oh my god, it was perfect. And I love that the pass came from Rickea Jackson. And I was just like, and as soon as she did it, man, I got up and went stupid. I was so loud that it made you come in the room. I was banging on my chair so hard that I actually got a dent in my chair that's gonna be there forever. And now it's like that's the Dom first ever dunk blemish.
In-game dunk. Yeah.
First ever in-game dunk. Yup. So yeah. So love that. Let's see who else we got on here. So like I said, Rickea Jackson. I love Rickea Jackson's game. She can stretch the floor, so she can shoot from like pretty much anywhere. She is sassy as all hell, and she don't back down. I love that. Like, so I really think that she brings something pretty cool to the team as well. Pretty much any team that she's on, she's gonna bring something pretty cool to it. Then you got Cameron Brink, who unfortunately, yes, unfortunately had a broken nose before the season, so she came in with the face mask on that you hate.
Yeah, and she had that one custom made for her.
Yeah, you hate everybody's mask though.
They're ugly.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be for it to look
it's
good.
It's an eyesore.
Okay, so anyway, she's wearing that mask, but she's still doing her thing. She is long. She out there getting them blocked. She hustles, which is something I can appreciate. I would like to see Rickea get in the gym, but she says she ain't. She says she ain't lifting no weights. She ain't lifting no weights. Well, you gotta lift weights though. You don't have a choice.
You gonna walk for a week last time messing with you with your workout. So
anyway, so love that
stuff.
Okay, love that. Obviously everybody knows that we like McDonald. We seen her. What she brought to the Fever was it was honestly impossible. Like it was crazy to see that team go from like they just went from person to person to person to person, and every single time, everybody that came in, they gave it their all, and they really continued to keep the Fever on the map in the game, and that says a lot, I think, about the coaching staff as well. Yeah, I think that says a lot about the coaching staff. That says a lot about the players and the vibe and the community there, the environment, because that doesn't happen everywhere. And so, but it also says a lot about the players that have been going into situations like that. And so, Ari, is no different. She really went in there and did a big one. And so we were really excited to see what she could bring to Unrivaled, to this Breeze team. Unfortunately, I do believe she had been out a lot with injury as well. It
was still like that broken toe or whatever and stuff, right? That she was still healing from. So she hasn't even played.
No, she did play. She got hurt again.
Oh,
she played the first game. She played.
She's fast as hell.
Yeah, she's fast. And one thing that we learned about the 3-on-3, this Unrivaled thing, is that every player has struggled. Every team, every player has struggled with the format in the beginning. It's like that every year. And so we definitely give them grace in that sense. Plus, we ain't out there doing it. So, but yeah, so it's unfortunate that we only got to see her in that one game. She didn't exactly, I might be wrong. It might have been the second game. Either way, she's only played one game. But yeah, so she played the one game and then got a little roughed up and had to come out, and we haven't seen her since. Because that's another thing about Unrivaled that I can really appreciate, which is that they really take care of their players. They don't. They allow the players to decide whether or not they're ready to step back in or step back out. So I love that. But yeah, I think that there's definitely still a lot to be seen from her. I really hope we can see her again before the season is up. Who else we got? Then we've got Kate Martin, Money Martin. Love Money Martin. One of the things that I love about she's tenacious. She is definitely a hustler. She is definitely very much like Lexi Hall, be all over the ground out there. She can shoot those three. She played with Caitlin Clark at Iowa, and she wasn't expecting to make it outside of college, which is also, just it's lovely to see like a humbled type of person who really just loves the game of basketball.
Well, she was doing her thing with the Valks, it was, right? Yeah, that's how I got to know who she was. So
yeah, so she was originally drafted by the Aces, and then she got picked up in the expansion draft by the Valks and had an amazing season there. Yeah, so seeing her here on the Breeze, I think, is a fantastic place for her, especially alongside Cameron Brink and Dom, Rukia Jackson, and Ari. Yeah, so last but not least for the Breeze, got Paige Beckers, one of my faves. Love what she brings not only to the game but just to the locker room. She is not a crash out. She's just very passionate.
Okay.
And I love that about her, and I love that she can take over a game. I love that she can share the ball. Like this team, I think, and I said it from day one when I first saw the draft. I said that this team is definitely going to be a contender. Y'all can call them young if you want to, but at the end of the day, age don't matter when it comes to a chip. So they get the chip this year, people gonna be salty. Salty.
Yeah.
My wife is one of them. What? Tell me you're not gonna be salty if either the Lunar Owls, which aren't even in the game right now,
don't talk about them.
or the Rose don't take the chip
Wait
this
till we
year.
post this. I'm gonna at Big Mama too.
Don't at Big
Yeah,
Mama.
I
I was just
definitely
playing. I love the Lunar Owls. I really hope that they doing a big one right now. Last time I checked, they actually were doing better. And that's really all that matters. That's really all we can ask for, especially when you're missing a key piece like Big Mama, and then she comes back, and now things are looking a lot more structured, a lot better. And you also have the ladies starting to kind of settle in, which is fantastic because we seeing a lot of things to be knocked down that weren't getting knocked down the first couple times around, but loving it, loving it, loving it. So since we brought it up, let's talk to Lunar House. Go ahead, break them down. So go ahead, talk about Rebecca Allen.
I don't wanna. I feel like she's not fitting well with them, with their style of play. Like, and I feel like she'd be missing all her shots.
But even when she was making shots, you still
like
wasn't.
one.
I thought it was like two, but I didn't see the second one. I just heard I heard Brendan say something about it, like oh, Rebecca Allen. So I thought that maybe I feel like she maybe made another one that I didn't see.
But also she'd be like slapping the ball, like, okay, yes, get the ball from the other player, but then go for the ball. Don't just slap the ball, slap it across over there, and like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Makes me so mad.
All right, Aaliyah Edwards.
Actually, I'm starting to kind of like her. I think she definitely could be aggressive when she wants to be, but it's always to win the game. That's her goal, is to win the game.
That should be the goal.
Always.
Yeah.
So
I feel like Aaliyah Edwards has always been aggressive. I don't feel like I've ever seen her not be aggressive. Like literally, I feel like now, okay, I can't 100% say that because I feel like it's possible that I didn't really start paying her attention until after the one-on-one competition last year.
That's fair.
And I believe that she maybe kicked things up after that one-on-one competition where she, lost, unfortunately lost the chip, if you will, to Fee.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure that's what I was saying about her then. I was like, is she mad aggressive? She's mad aggressive. But also, if you look at the rest of the team, they're aggressive.
Yeah, this is team crash out. I'm sorry.
This
is team crash out. It's certified.
Whatever.
They literally have somebody with a jar. It's team crash out.
It's a bucket. Did you see?
Yes, it's a bucket now. Yeah. Anyway, so yep, that's Aaliyah Edwards. I love her game. I can't speak for Rebecca Allen. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. I don't have anything like negative per se to say about her, but I don't have anything positive either because I don't feel like I've seen enough of her game. Yeah, okay. Timmy Fabby, Bentley.
I don't really know how I like feel about her.
That's crazy. I love.
Yeah, she's definitely good. She definitely has her moments when she gets in there and she's like gelling with everybody. So I don't know that I have anything bad to say about her though. Like,
So the thing about Tammy is I feel like this. She is a flow state kind of player. So you got your players that can come off the bench and like, be aggressive, do what they need to do, and they're role players, and then they go back to the bench and that team is that much better for it. But then you have players who really need to be in a game for an extended period of time
it
to
needs
kind
to
of
build
get
up.
to the flow of things. And so I feel like she doesn't necessarily play too well in those short bursts, right? Where like you put her in for a minute or 2 minutes or something like that. Like she is definitely a flow state player. That being said, that doesn't mean that she doesn't add any value coming off the bench.
I
It's
agree.
just I'm just saying that I've seen like when she was on the Fever, I've seen that she played a lot better, either when she started a quarter or where she was in for extended periods because someone was in foul trouble. So, I feel like I've noticed a huge difference in her game with those longer stretches than with those short bursts. But another thing about her is she's aggressive. She gets after it. She is
Oh
not
yeah.
somebody that gives up on a play. She's not somebody who, you're not seeing, going after rebounds. She's getting after
Mhm.
them things. Okay. And she can stretch the floor. She can shoot from anywhere. It's not always pretty though, but she can shoot from anywhere on the floor. So that's also a positive I think that she brings to the Lunar Owls. All right, let's talk Rachel Banham. How you feel about Ray? Good old Rach.
I'm just starting to get to know her, so I don't know. Like, I was unsure of her first coming in. Like, no, don't do that. But I think she's definitely like starting to find like her place on the team, and she be like trying to put in her work. Like,
Yeah,
she
for sure.
definitely do. So
Yeah. So I got to know a little bit of her game when she played with the Chicago Sky this past year. Unfortunately, the Sky wasn't doing great, but what I can say is she's a bucket from three. Like now again, getting back into the whole these ladies needing to kind of settle in and stuff like that, and then also the whole coming off the bench vice, the long stretches vice small burst. I think she's also better in long stretches. I don't think that she is the best burst player, but I also have seen where that worked, where like maybe she came in for a couple of minutes, knocked down like 3 threes, and then went back to the bench,
right.
right? But that also means that she would have had to been having a good day.
Mm-hmm.
So, it really just depends on the day. But yeah,
It does. I like her though. I'm just still just getting to know her though.
fair enough. Same. All right. So let's talk about Marina Mabry. Come on. You know Marina, so you can't say I ain't got nothing to say about Marina.
Know her. I know her. And I'm between a rock and a hard place, right?
Okay.
Because my deep down
Mm-hmm.
thoughts
Uh-huh.
are not great.
Mm-hmm.
She is definitely a crash out, 100%. And I am not a fan usually,
Okay.
but for the Lunar Owls, she been putting in work.
Yeah.
She's been putting in work. Okay, she been on fire. I'm not even gonna take that away from her. Like, she was definitely the one that's been holding the team down, even though they haven't gotten them wins. Like, she was the one putting in that work.
Hey, we can't say that they haven't gotten them wins. At the time of this recording, they might be getting them wins.
That's fair enough, and I hope so.
But so far they have gotten a couple. And it's largely due to the work and work ethic of Marina Mabry. And not just that. I don't want to be one of those ones that just continues to kind of pour negativity into a player. I know that I've spoken about Marina in the past, and the truth is that I actually like Marina. And here's the thing, like there was actually a point in time you were starting to feel better about Marina because you were seeing her with Sanaya.
I love them together.
Right. Right. And that's what I'm saying. And so it was one of those things where, and that's what I love about social media, is that it gives you a chance to see a little bit more of a player that you otherwise would not see, right?
Mhm.
Where like normally you see what you see on the court, and then that is all you have to go off of to decide whether or not you like this person.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like it really shouldn't matter if you like a person if their game speaks for themselves. But I'm sorry, this day and age, what the like where we live at now, like it's just it matters. Like it matters if I like a person because it determines whether or not I want to buy anything with your name on it, with your
Yeah.
face on it, right? Like whether I would support anything with your name or your face on it, and
Mhm.
whether I would want my kid to like look up to you as an idol, right? So that matters, and it sucks for that person, right? Because to them, they're like, you don't even know me, and
Right.
that's very true. We don't know you, so all we have to go off usually is what we see on the court. And so I shouldn't even, and realistically, I shouldn't see any of that. Like your personality really should be tamed in that situation, is what you would think.
Right.
But that's just not how sports work because
Mhm.
all of these women, and even if we're talking men, all of these players, they are doing something that they love and that they're passionate about. So we're going to see their personality,
Yeah.
right? And we love it. Like, let's be real. We love seeing their personality. Even when it's the stuff that we hate, we still love it because we're like, oh my God, like it's like you get so much. You're not just getting the sport, you're also getting the drama, right? I
Yeah.
love seeing them crash out. I love that. But then at the same time, there is, I feel like a line that should be drawn in the sand. Like
Yeah.
safety to me, like is more important than me getting my piece of drama.
Mhm.
And so I think that was some of the issue that I was having where I felt like I was seeing a lot more from her that seemed like it was violent. But lately, she really seems to be trying to turn a new leaf, so to speak. And it's very different what I see, what I have seen from her on the court, where she was doing like the violent acts or whatever you might want to call it, in her moments of passion. It's very different that between what we see from her on social media when
Yes.
she's, especially when she's like with Sanaya and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I love it. She really does have a great personality. And I think I would like to see more of that because I feel like it is important for us to be reminded that these are actually people too. They're not just crash outs, right?
Yeah.
They're not just players. They're not just your entertainment. They
Mhm.
actually are people with real feelings, with real personalities. And so I love that. I feel like we've been seeing a lot more of that from her.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And she hasn't had to, well, I don't know. At the time you're seeing this, that jar might be full, but it ain't full now. The only one that had to put something in it was Lisa Leslie
Yeah.
because she was talking about punching BG in the face. Now, to be fair, she didn't say she was going to punch BG in the face, but it was a foul that BG had done against AB. So BG is Brittany Griner for anybody who doesn't remember, and AB is Aaliyah Boston. So during one of the games, AB and BG were kind of going at it a little bit, not like in a violent way, so to speak, but just at the on a basketball level. And they're both big, so they play the same position. So they obviously playing against each other, right? So there was a rebound that one would say BG had absolutely zero chance of getting, and somehow she ended up completely face swiping AB, and it was just not a basketball play. So the foul was upgraded. And I love BG, so we are not BG haters over here. So
Absolutely not.
don't even come in here with that where you're trying to say negative things about her because we ain't with it. But I will say that was definitely not a basketball play, and she did what is expected of a basketball player. They're gonna defend themselves. Nobody fouls, right? Nobody fouls. So she's like, "What? Like, what happened? But it is what it is. So it was upgraded, but Lisa Leslie caught herself saying something along the lines of, "I would have punched somebody in the face." So there were some words I believe shared on social media. People didn't like it. I personally loved it because I feel like I would much rather hear exactly what the announcers are thinking as opposed to the political nonsense that they're repeating. Like,
Right.
you don't
Keep
need
it
to tell
real.
me, right? You don't need to tell me what I'm seeing, right? Like, a lot of times, all they're doing is reporting the game, and I'm watching the game. I don't need you to
Right.
report the thing I'm watching. Like, I mean, and I guess to be fair, there are some people that are listening to the game, so that's also fair. But still, like, I would much rather, like, I think feel more of like their personality shine through as opposed to being political. So she did make this statement, and uh, then the next time around when the bucket came out, she put money in the bucket, and she also had a chance to on air live say, yeah, I put money in the bucket because I did have a little bit of a crash out moment where I said something I shouldn't have said. I shouldn't have done that. I love, all these ladies, and I that's not what we do here. So I can appreciate that. I don't know that anybody necessarily forced her hand. Lisa Leslie is not necessarily the type. She's very much a professional. So I don't know that anybody needed to force her hand. I feel like that's just something that I feel like she kind of probably took a step back and was like, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Right, because I mean, she didn't have to put the money in the crash out bucket.
No,
like
absolutely.
she literally could have just said what she said on the air, and that was that.
Yeah.
But it was like, we talked about turning a new leaf here, and I was the first one with a crash out. So let me go ahead and put some money in this bucket.
For sure. So, all right. We went down a rabbit hole there. Sorry about that. But had to save the best for last. Big Mama. Skylar Diggins.
Love me some Skylar Diggins.
Yeah, we know.
Okay, so seeing her last year, and I'm already married.
That's your answer? That's the only reason? Not because you want to, like, wow. Okay. I'm not editing this out either. I'll make sure that the world sees this.
Seeing her last year, coming off of what we just talked about with the crash outs, is definitely what drew me into her. Her little attitude, her little crash outs. I was like, ooh, I like her. Her attitude,
celebrations.
She is feisty. Yes, her little dances and stuff, like definitely is what caught my attention with her. Watching her play. First off, she's strong as hell.
Yes, she is.
Okay, she is strong as hell.
Angela Bassett
she also is fast.
She is very fast.
She is also fast. And I think that she's like trying to take like a leader role with the team kind of this year, but like share it with Marina. And I think the two of them together though are like a crazy match. Like, because
I didn't know what to expect when I found out that they were both on the same team. But I do know that as soon as I saw, like I was literally watching the draft, as soon as I saw those two names, I was like, team crash out immediately. There was no question.
If I think about it, I'd rather them be on the same team
1000%
than playing against each other.
Absolutely.
And then playing against
I don't need any more reasons.
No.
But yeah, so Skylar Diggins is obviously a vet. She's obviously a leader on this team. Marina Mabry is also a vet. However, I do believe that she is outranked in the veteran status by Skylar Diggins. But I agree that they both are playing a major leader role here, especially because Skylar Diggins was out for a long while in the beginning. So yeah, what we're seeing from them together has been pretty amazing. And Skylar Diggins as a guard is just she's fast. She can shoot from anywhere. She's quick with the ball and without the ball. So yeah, I love unhinged Skylar.
Her blocks and stuff now. I'm like, oh, she up there. She doing them big ass jumps. Like, yeah, unhinged Skylar.
Yeah, so
watch that bun.
I believe I believe that anybody who is a true Skylar Diggins fan at this point understands that there are two Skylars, okay? There is the fresh, slick back bun Skylar. She's well put together. Her head is on straight, and you're not gonna see too many crash outs from that Skylar, okay? Doesn't mean she's not gonna be feisty, but you're not gonna see too many crash outs. Body movements are gonna be regular, okay? But then you got the other one, the dark side. That's the messy bun Skylar, okay?
Man.
Messy bun Skylar is not only a crash out, but she is a beast. And you do not want to be in her way when it's that time.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That messy bun Skylar, she got, the Kevin Hart stand up where he was talking about like kids when they do weird, crazy things with their body. And that is messy bun crash out Skylar. Like she gonna make a shot and then she gonna do something crazy. She gonna get up and then she gonna do something crazy with her body that you just don't. And then she gonna curse you out, and she does not care. I don't know if she's ever been mic'd up, but like Marina Mabry said, when she got mic'd up, they would have no business putting a mic on her.
No,
Absolutely not. They wouldn't be able to share anything she said.
no. Well, that what was it? That last game we saw, it was Marina keeping Skylar from a crash out. So
Yeah.
that was different. And we're gonna just talk real quick that Skylar could dress her ass off.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, she could
Yeah.
dress her ass off. You to call me anytime she going through the tunnel because it's always gonna be a fire fit that she's wearing.
Absolutely,
Every time.
1000%. So yeah, I think both of these teams are pretty well rounded. You know, obviously we talked about who we feel like, you know, should have been on the Luna Owls, you know, out in our dreams, who we put on the Luna
Mhm.
Owls. But that's not to say they got it wrong. It's just there's people that I feel like would have better suited this team. But I really think that they have a chance at this point. So hopefully they are able to continue down this positive road that they've kind of, you know, started to put together. So Breeze, again, that's definitely my, I hate to say number one because
It is.
I hate to say number one because I feel as though there are a lot of people that I really love in this league. But when I look at, and this is how I based it when I finally decided, when I looked at my excitement around the teams, last year, without a doubt, it was Luna out. And sure, it was nice that they had went on such a long undefeated, you know, road, but it wasn't specific to them being undefeated as much as it was the energy that they brought every single game. And that is how I feel about the Breeze right now. But separately and differently because it was before the season even started that like I saw that team on paper and was like, that's my team. And I didn't even mean for it to happen. It just was where it was. So yeah, this year my team is Team Breeze. I think every year is going to be different, and that's what I love about this league. It's exciting, and it's always going to be that way as long as it continues, and I hope that it does.
Traitor.
I'm not a traitor. I'm doing the league the way the league is meant to be done, right? Because every year they change who's on the team. What happens when Skylar Diggins is on another team? You still going to be like, oh yeah, who are you? I'm a Luna Owl.
No.
Exactly. So you can't call me a traitor. You're going to play it exactly the way I'm playing it. Lawyered. All right. So let's talk about the Love Cabin versus Love Island. So, what would you say is the same and what's different and what's better? Or more so, which one do you feel like was better?
Love Island was better. I think it was definitely more thought out, their process in it. I think it really seemed like they actually had like a real like objective, right? Like come here, get to meet the person you want to be with.
Right.
Whereas I feel like Love Cabin, not so much. It was definitely good for my Ratchet TV fix, but it wasn't as serious. And I
Right.
think that's what the difference is. Love Island was more serious, like we're definitely here for a reason. And Love Cabin was more so like I'm trying to do X-rated things and win some money.
So I don't know. For me, I agree that Love Cabin was worse. I'm not even going to say Love Island was better. It was, but I think that to me, Love Cabin was so bad that I'm just going to call it worst. Yeah, it was worse. I hated it. So I love, you know, I'm always down for the Ratchet TV. Like that's, you know, as we kind of talked about in the previous episode, we love the idea of being able to, you know, live peaceful lives and turn on the TV, see the ratchetness, see the drama, suck it up, and just kind of, you know, back out of it. We're ready. And we have, and it has sparked some, you know, pretty good discussions. Usually me talking to myself and you just being like, but still, yeah. So my thing with Love Cabin, my issue with Love Cabin is, as much as I love Ray J, I felt like it was a mess. It was a complete mess.
Yes.
It makes zero sense to me that the host is like flirting and trying to get with like contestants. Also, it didn't seem like the objective was actually to find love. It's like the actions were inconsistent with what was being stated the objective was, right? Oh, you here to find love, and then it's did you F those bees, right? Like, it's like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why is that the discussion? And then there's also the sending people home specifically because they're in a relationship with each other. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So it's like, were they here to find love and win, or were they just here to sleep around?
Sleep around.
And I mean, obviously, there were some people that came there with that agenda, but my point is that Ray J, as the host, was pushing that. And literally, when people seemed like they might be comfortable in their situation, he would switch it all up. Now, it's kind of against human nature to build a relationship, or not even to build multiple relationships, right? Where I'm building this romantic relationship with you, and then I have 6 other people that I'm building friendships with that see me building a romantic relationship with you, and then you have to switch that off and now try and build an emotional, like romantic relationship with another one of those people that you had recently been building a friendship, kind of almost brother slash sister kind of relationship with. Like, it's unnatural. And there are some people that like can do that, but honestly, it's just not a natural thing. Like, if I grew up in a house with people and I was there as a couple and I have other people there as a couple, it's highly unlikely that I will date somebody else in the house and everything would be fine.
Right.
It's not natural. Something would have gone wrong. Someone would have felt like they had to leave. Like, it's not going to be right. It's not going to be, we're all just going to stay here and live happily ever after. Like, we weren't just, sleeping together. That's weird. Right. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. And I didn't like that it felt like, the objective just kept changing. And so, at this point, we still don't know who won.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we didn't check this past Sunday to see if it was up there, but
I don't think it was.
Yeah. So at the time of this recording, by now, we're hoping that a winner has already been announced. And sorry, I keep saying this recording. At the time of this airing, I'm hoping that there is a winner that's been announced and that the reunion
because you would have thought that the last episode we would have known who the winner was, but
they ended that episode as if there was going to be another episode to announce the winner, which also didn't make any sense to me. Like, why is there a completely separate episode to announce the winner? Plus, who chooses? Because that's another thing that kind of was, and that was, oh my God, and that was another thing that was a mess about it. It just really felt like there was zero structure.
Yeah,
it felt like one day Ray J called Lemmy and was like, "Yo, on a dead homie, I got an idea."
Oh, well,
like
okay, so they were like having an episode where they literally almost fought and then made up, and then Lemmy like told him to like host the show. Like, that's how that came about.
No, but
and the chick who does the narrating, she was the one that was like the middle person during this thing they had going on.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so that's how she got that spot.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, more power to him for.
I don't know if it was Ray J's idea or if Lemmy had an idea and then basically just handed it over to Ray J and was like, "Here, you do what you want with this." But
I don't know, but it was terrible. Yeah. I don't know how the ratings were. Because realistically, because there aren't a lot of things on Zeus Network, I feel that we pretty much flock to whatever they release, even if we don't think it's going to be good, because it's always good in the way that we want it to be good, right? The drama portion of it. Yeah. Right? Like, in that way, it served its purpose. But I hated the idea that they were essentially trying to put on a Love Island, because no part of it was like they did a lot of the same things that Love Island did, but worse.
Yeah.
Like so much worse. Like terrible.
Low budget.
I don't even want to say low budget, because let's be real, they ain't broke. It wasn't even so much that it was low budget.
No, that's what it was giving.
It was just bad. It was just like it felt poorly planned.
Yeah.
Or not planned at all, really. It felt like that's what it felt like. It felt like they were just running it by ear.
Yeah. And I don't really remember how many episodes it was, but through that whole time of watching it, I don't think I could say, well, I really like this person. Like, I don't feel like I like any of them. Whereas Love Island came, my emotions were like here and there,
all over the place,
with different people in there. And by the time we got to an end, I really knew what couple I wanted to win. And so yeah, it was not on the level at
No,
all.
at all. Not even close. And I almost hate that I even, compare the two, but I felt like it was important to compare them because specifically because they seemed to do a lot of things that or they seemed to attempt a lot of things that Love Island did.
Yeah, the concept was supposed to be the same, but it
It
was
was not.
nowhere
It was
like
not.
on the
It
level of
was
what
not.
Love Island was. And Love Island was long. Like
Yeah.
there were so many episodes, and I feel like they did it right. They rotated people in,
Yeah, and
like
it was
not at a speedy rate, but not at a slow rate,
right.
really giving people a chance to get to know
And people
people.
stay locked into, and it was very specific how couples were chosen and you were a part of a couple, and it was not like every episode you were changing the couple
Right.
you were in. I loved that. I just feel like they did it properly, and it's also worth noting that we did not watch Love Island with America. We watched Love Island well after everyone had completed it,
Hmm.
right? So and this is actually pretty recent, I would say. So this is how good I think the show actually is that even with us not watching with America, we still went through all of the same emotions America did when it was on. And
Yeah.
so I think that it was well put together, well done. And I just love it. And we're not gonna do any spoilers on that particular portion of it, but it was like if you haven't watched it, like if I don't know, we basically lived under a rock instead of watching it with America. So I imagine it might be somebody else out there in the world that did it. But it's also worth noting that Love Island USA is not the original Love Island. I don't know what the original one is, but it's not USA, which is why it's called Love Island, like USA, whatever. But yeah, quite good, I think. And I feel like they did it right. I feel like the professionals were professional. I loved that the host was not around. I feel like I really would have loved that from Love Cabin if Ray
Hmm.
J just was not around. I can only stand but so much of his tomfoolery.
Yeah.
Um, you
But they
know,
also involved America, right?
I was
America was
yep.
making votes on certain things, like if couples switched up or who was the favorites and who weren't. And
Hmm.
then it was down to the contestants to choose, like,
Right.
okay, these are the least favorite of the three couples, and now you guys have to choose who goes home. And so I really enjoyed that portion of it, even though we ain't have nothing to do with it, but
Right.
if America shook it up a little bit, they
Yeah.
did, because
Yeah.
America is messy and they like
Yeah.
drama.
Yeah.
But
Which was another thing that I was going to mention. And so I love that it was still messy. It was still
oh
drama
yeah,
filled.
oh yeah,
But I felt like, and that's why that is my disappointment with Love Cabin, is that it was messy, but not like in the way that like made me want more. Like
yeah.
it was
So
just messy. It was
yeah,
just a
right, because they were
mess.
like fighting and being drunk and all this stuff. Whereas like Love Island, there was drama, like you said, but like we didn't have people fighting and all this nonsense going on. But there was drama that kept you like pulled in, and it's like,
And then, although this is kind of a spoiler, and then you find out that one of the contestants is actually like messing around with Ray J. And then there's also a contestant that 1000% like wants to be with Ray J and is strictly stating that. Like, so that's a whole nother thing. Like,
outright, yeah,
why do we still have someone on the show that doesn't want to be with anyone that's here? Like, it even gets to a point, again, spoiler, where there's a person at the end who isn't even a part of a couple because, and that did also happen in Love Island, but that was different. Like, it was like by the end, both of these people decided that they didn't want to be together, but they had tried to be together. That's different. Where it's like this person that I'm talking about from Love Cabin, it was straight up just like I want Ray J. Like,
yeah,
and it's just that just doesn't make any sense to me. Like the fact that he was even entertaining that live is whack.
yeah.
Anyway, so that's enough about that because I got something else that I wanted to add to the streaming and screaming. And I don't think that this is going to necessarily be a popular topic, but the reason I wanted to bring it up is because I had a bunch of old moments today or this morning rather, as I was kind of looking into ICE. So there's a lot of people upset about, myself included, about how ICE is operating,
Hmm.
right? And the reason why this fits into streaming and screaming, just to be clear, is because I've recently seen a couple of streamed YouTube fatalities due to ICE. And it's frustrating, it's infuriating, I know that. But I feel like it's important to not all help is good help. I've actually said this a couple of times today, and I think that it's a very fair statement that a lot of people don't think about, right? So many times in my life I've tried to help people that like the help wasn't good, or people tried to help me where the help wasn't good. It's kind of like when you ask somebody to help you move, and then when they come over to help you move, they're doing more harm than good. They're breaking things, or they're sitting around waiting for you to tell them what to do, or whatever the case is. Not all help is good help, right? And so I feel like it is important, especially because so many people keep going out there, putting their lives on the line, thinking they understand, like the what's allowed, what's not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, you do have rights, but I also think that it's important to educate yourself and understand the situations you're putting yourself in, right? Because cops can't just be out there shooting people. Now, that being said, is it happening? Sure, but we're also seeing more and more of them being held accountable, because it is true that they can't just be out there shooting, right? I feel like we understand that because we understand them as peace officers. We also have a lot more people on YouTube and things like that, like lawyers and police officers that are actually sharing content about their profession. We have yet to really see that from ICE agents. And I feel like there's a huge reason for that people are not necessarily understanding. So like we know that we can at any time record a peace officer, right? Can you record an FBI agent?
No.
Like I'm just and so the reason why I ask that is because, and I get that this isn't gonna necessarily be popular, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm taking up for agents that are out here killing people. I'm not. I am absolutely disgusted by what I'm seeing from these ICE agents. What I am trying to do is raise a little bit of awareness, or at least to kind of force you into thinking maybe I should look more into this, especially if you're one of those that want to get out there and you want to protest and you want to do something because you feel like you're at home not doing it, right? So the reason I asked the thing about the FBI agent, because I think that is like widely known that you're not just going to be out here essentially trying to blow the cover of an FBI agent, right? You're not going to be out here recording or attempting to stop an FBI agent from something that they were, that they're like some type sort of case that they're on, right? The other part of that is, do you think that, say, for instance, an Albuquerque police department can get in the way of an FBI agent's, case in Albuquerque?
No, they
Right.
can't.
You see what I'm saying? And so, these are the kind of questions that come to mind because they operate extremely similar, where ICE agents very much have a similar structure to FBI agents. And so when you're seeing these recordings of, say, ICE agents who are trying to get rid of people who are attempting to record them, you have to understand, and again, I'm not saying it makes it right, because what would be better is if this was something that was known to the public, because I think the FBI thing is pretty much known to the public. To be fair, there are also a lot of TV shows and movies and things of that nature that tell us that FBI, things are secret. Like the way they operate is very secret like.
Right.
So while there are some things about their operations that are known to the public, there are very many things that aren't known because they are classified. And that is similar to how ICE agents work, because they work under a similar structure. So a lot of the things that they'll be sent to do, right, will be things that were briefed on a classified level. And so a lot of the things that they're doing is classified. So I can't be out there recording what they're doing. And I understand that people are enraged and upset about the things that are happening, but could you imagine what might happen if you did what you're seeing people do now to FBI agents? It'd be quite similar. And fortunate for FBI agents, they don't have to go through this kind of thing because people are more aware of their operations and how things work. But a lot of people are, and let's also be fair, that the Trump administration is just doing a completely poor job of pretty much everything. And so the way all these things are going is it comes off a lot worse than I feel like it needs to come off. Because yes, there are a lot of criminals in our country here illegally. There are. And the same thing could be true when it comes to FBI agents when they're doing their FBI work, right? But that being said, because of this not being something that was being done before, and because of how like they're really enforcing it in such a strong and swift way, like this, we weren't like we weren't eased into this,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like overnight they just became this huge force. They already existed, but as far as what they're doing, their operations, they became this huge force overnight. And so my only reason again in bringing this up is I think that it is worth a look into, especially if you want to get out there and do something about this, because I think it is important to understand the level of danger you're in compared to when you go out to protest and the only people out there are peace officers.
Mm-hmm.
Peace officers are unlikely to use lethal force against protesters. Now, yes, you have a right to protest, but again, would you be protesting and, almost violent around FBI agents for FBI work? You wouldn't. It's less likely because 9 times out of 10, you probably don't know what they're doing, and you probably don't know where they are when they're there. They're not out here usually in their FBI like uniforms and things like you're not necessarily seeing. Even if you're in a room with FBI agents, you may not know. So I think that's also a thing that's a little bit different here is that we're seeing these ICE agents and a lot of them, and this may change quite soon, but a lot of them are wearing their ICE uniforms, right? So who's to say that this doesn't change? I would not be surprised to see that because of all of the like pushback and resistance that they're getting now. I would not be surprised to see I wouldn't even be surprised if there was already a unit that existed similarly to how they do things in the FBI when they're like undercover, so to speak. Because again, they work under different rules. And so educate yourself on these rules so that you can be as safe as possible. I'm not saying don't record, but I'm saying it might be worth going out there with body cams that are a little less like in their face and out there. It might also be worth not being so close to them physically. Yell at them from afar if you're gonna do it. Not saying that we haven't seen those go bad as well, but educate yourself, be safe, and understand that they are not peace officers. Understand that they are not your local policemen and they do not operate in your jurisdiction. And because of that, there's a lot that they can do, and they are not required to give us anything. That's another thing different to police, with the public records and things of that nature, where I can just request some information. It's not like that. You can't go requesting stuff from the FBI. You're not going to go requesting nothing from ICE. They are agents. They are federal agents. So while they may be out here going rogue, doing what they feel like doing, killing people, killing U.S. citizens on U.S. soil, they are working under pretty strict orders, by any means necessary kind of orders. At least that is how it appears. So educate yourself and be safe.
Yeah, I ain't messing with it. I'm sorry. Like, I think for me, like, I got a family. My life is too precious. Like, I get it. It pisses me off too, but I'm not just willingly gonna go put myself in what may be potential danger. Like, I just can't do it.
Yeah. So again, I want to make sure that I'm clear. I am not taking up for them. I am very disgusted with a lot of what I'm seeing out there. I'm especially disgusted about hearing, U.S. citizens being taken in without, having the opportunity to identify themselves and, staying in these ICE prisons. It's insane. But I do think it is important to understand that there is such a huge difference between the rules that ICE agents, being federal agents, operate under, vice peace officers who are, they work for the people, or at least they're supposed to. Yes, we do understand that there are a lot of cases out there where that is also not the case. And that is very unfortunate. However, it is important to know the difference. It is important to educate yourself. And again, stay safe.
Hey guys, so this week we are not doing a book. I actually went and did a thing and got a Kobo Libra Color. Now, we know I'm a Kindle girly, but I also like things. And so I just wanted to see, what is the Kobo Libra about? So, first thing, as you can see, is that this device actually has buttons here. So you can change your page with these buttons. You can swipe, you can tap, whatever you want to do. Also, it is made out of 100% ocean bound plastic. So it is good for our ecosystem. Let's see. It does have a pen that you do have to buy separately. However, you can use this to annotate actually on your books. You can also highlight in color, which I like. So the big thing, okay, so I do have a Kindle Color Soft, as we've seen in one of the other episodes. The issue I had with that was that Amazon has locked it down, where if you are sideloading books that are not purchased directly from Amazon, on the Color Soft, your covers do not show. So when I got the Kobo, I was unsure of, that would be the issue here. But if you're looking here, you can see all the colors. All the covers are in color and you see them. So that was a plus for me. The next thing that was really the key thing for me was that Kobo has its own page turner. Now, the page turners that we use for Kindle, you have to clip the little device on the e-reader, then you press the little button and it'll change the page. It's usually just, it goes one way. So if you clip it on this side, it'll change the page this way. If you clip it on this way, it'll go that way. Those suck. You don't want to see that on your e-reader. This is Bluetooth, so there's no clipping anything on your device, and it goes forward and backwards. So I've only had her for a couple of days. Her name is Pandora. Okay. So I'm actually just going to live with her for a little bit and see how I really like it. But one of the cool things about this is that if you're in the middle of a book and you want to change to another book you're reading, if you pull down the screen, it'll bring up your recent things. You just click on whichever one you want and it'll switch and take you right to that book. You also can control your brightness by sliding up and down on the sides. So there's definitely pros and cons to the Kobo, just like there is with the Kindle. Me, I'm undecided, so I'm keeping. And we'll come back and we'll do a comparison actually between the two after I've had some time with her and have gotten to learn her a bit. That's it for today, guys. Kobo Libra Color.
All right, guys. Welcome to another Piece in Progress with Ja. That's me. So you know what's funny? We spend so much time waiting for adulthood to show up that we almost miss it when it finally does. There's no single moment when you wake up and suddenly feel grown. For me, adulthood kind of crept in, paying bills, checking in on family, making tough calls at work, learning to apologize when I'm wrong, still figuring that one out. That's real life. My message this week: don't stress if you don't feel like you've arrived yet. There's no finish line, just a bunch of little milestones that add up. Every time you show up for yourself or someone else, every time you handle your business, even when you don't want to, that's what being an adult looks like. So give yourself some credit. Even if you're still figuring it all out, we all are. Progress isn't loud. Sometimes it's just quietly doing the right thing day after day. Wait, we ain't both on the screen, it's just me.
I'm invisible.
Yo. All right, guys. So it's night time. This is actually my favorite part of the show every time. Not gonna lie. Today, I actually got to pick the game, and I wanted to make sure that we kept the theme going. So the game is called Grown or Nah.
Okay.
So we gonna ask questions. I haven't read any of them, so we just gonna go back and forth asking the questions, and the other person is gonna say whether it's grown or nah. All right, I'm gonna start out. Having a preferred brand of laundry detergent and feeling passionate about it. Grown or nah?
Absolutely grown. Absolutely
That's grown.
Yes. Do you see me buying different kinds of detergent?
You know what? That's fair because I feel like as I was growing up, I just cared about which one was either cheapest or cheapest and smelled okay. Like it couldn't stink, but yeah, cheapest and smelled good. And you know what? I can't even say that. Nope. For the longest time, I was really just buying the pods because they were just easier. So I just tossed the pod in and be done with it. I didn't even care what it smelled like, as long as it didn't stink. Like it didn't have to smell good, just couldn't
Yeah,
stink.
that's fair.
All right, fair, grown. I agree. All right, go ahead.
Seeing a great movie in theaters, but waiting to rent it because the tickets are too expensive. Grown or nah?
Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna say grown because I feel like as I was like growing up, like I definitely would go and see a movie regardless, and definitely was not thinking, let me wait until like that's up for for me to rent it or something like that. I didn't start doing that until like I was an adult. Like
Well, yeah, because then you started to realize how much these tickets was.
yeah, they
the
like tripled since when I
concession.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember paying $5 for a movie, and then I also remember paying $25 for a movie. It's crazy out here.
Mhm.
All right, yeah, that's grown. All right, getting genuinely excited about buying a new kitchen appliance like a fancy vacuum or air fryer. Grown or no? That's
That's
definitely
grown.
grown to
That's
you.
grown.
That's grown.
That's grown. If you not grown, I was getting excited.
That's you.
I
Yo,
picked the washer dryer. I was like,
you
oh,
were
we
so
getting a
happy about
stackable
that.
joint. Like, yeah,
I'm excited.
stove. I want the stove with the griddle in the middle. Like, that's absolutely grown. You think? Let's think about Isaiah. You think that man is thinking about what appliances putting in his house and all? This man
No.
got one pot.
Yo, all I care about is a microwave. Something good. Oh, that's too funny. All right, you next.
Okay. Checking your bank account first thing in the morning, grown or nah.
That's definitely grown. Honestly, I did not start checking my bank account until like in a sense where I'm like, that's something I might open up fresh in the morning until recently. But you know what though? Hold on. Hold on. Okay. It depends on if we're still talking about what we feel like grown was when we were like from the warm up, right? Because technically speaking, there are some teenagers out here that probably do the same thing on payday. So maybe not. Like, yeah, maybe not. I think if it was just saying just randomly, like on a random day, first thing in the morning checking it, that's grown. But checking it first thing in the morning and it not specifying, I don't think that's grown because it really just depends. If you're somebody who like has a job or gets an allowance at a specific time, you be waiting for that thing.
That's fair.
So yeah, checking it first thing in the morning makes sense. And I'm gonna be real, I don't check it in the morning because I check it. So I still bank with a bank that works on Eastern time. So I get all of any payments that like went in that were processed. I get them at night.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think that's grown. I'm gonna say no. All right, so it's my turn. Planning a whole weekend around catching up on errands and actually looking forward to it, grown or no.
You gotta be grown if you look.
Yeah, I was gonna say because that's something I don't do now, and I'm grown.
Like I'm like, who does that? Like
No,
I definitely
absolutely
am not
not.
looking forward to. Yeah, maybe depends on what the errands are.
See, but I don't know because I can't think of anything that's specific to like errands that I'm excited about. I really don't like giving my whole weekend away to errands either.
No,
So yeah, I would say self care things, sure, but errands, no. Like I'm not excited about going food shopping. Like that's stupid. I'm
no.
not doing it. Like we order our food. I will literally pay hundreds of dollars a year to make sure that we don't have to leave our house to get our things delivered to us. I'm good on that.
Every week.
I'm good on that, bro. I'm good. All right, go ahead.
Hearing a loud noise outside and your first thought is about property damage, not curiosity.
That is definitely
That's
where I'm at now.
that's definitely grown.
I'm gonna say
Before you
grown.
hear something, you like, oh,
Yeah, no, I'm
shit,
grown.
what's going on out
No,
there? Now
no,
it's like,
because like
oh
literally,
hell no, what was that?
I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Like when I heard about the broken glass situation where the kids broke the window, I was more worried about how much that was gonna cost. And I mean, to be fair, only because I knew everybody was okay already, but it wasn't even a thought in my mind. Like that was definitely an afterthought as opposed to the initial thought. I'm like, well, how much does first of all, my first thought was, okay, so like the whole window, like it's just a complete open situation. Like, so okay, wait. How much does it even cost to replace a window like that? Like, yeah, so absolutely that's grown. That's 100% grown. Cause I remember when I was like more like just on the growing up side of things, I definitely was like curious. Like if you hear the I'm like, "Ooh, what's that? Like all right. Buying the nice toilet paper even when it's not on sale, grown or not. Nah, I don't
Okay,
think so.
no, I don't think so. See, we kind of bougie, so we definitely like nice toilet paper. But I think we're definitely for like a bang for our buck. Like,
Oh no,
so I don't want tissue that you just gonna wipe one time and your hand gonna go through it, but I want the tissue that's gonna give me like 24 rolls.
yeah, it's crazy that that's on here because we were literally just talking about it before we started recording, and I'm like, is it me or did this Amazon toilet paper like did the quality of this Amazon toilet paper go down? Because now like because before I could take like a couple of pieces off and blow my nose and it'd be no problem. Now I take a couple of pieces off, blow my nose, and my finger go through it. And I'm like, what just happened? Like, so again, I don't know if it's this batch, but Amazon, y'all need to get together or else we're going with somebody else. Stop. I mean, we not when I say going with somebody else, I don't mean for shipping and stuff like that. I just mean for
Right.
tissue. That's it.
Okay. Saying I'll just have one drink at a social event and actually meaning it, grown or not.
Grown.
Right.
Cause I be meaning that now.
So listen,
I'm yeah. That's grown.
that drink is going fast too. It's like, that social meter is small, so you drinking that drink fast.
Yeah, because I'm
Time
leaving
to
after
go.
this. Okay. Yes, that's grown. All right. Your heart rate spikes when you see a check engine light come on, grown or not.
Okay, that has not happened to me yet, but that is grown because I'm like, hello. Now this got to go to the shop. How much is this gonna cost? Also, first off, am I gonna make it back home before something happened to this car? So that is grown because not grown, you don't care. You still
See,
driving.
so this is where I disagree only because I don't even know how she could even try to say any of this. She literally didn't get a car till she was grown. I promise you that it's kind of like when you become a new parent, right? Where like your first kid is the one that you were the most like, oh my God, about everything. And so for me, as a young person with a car, an engine light was terrifying because I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, because it's red, first of all. Like, well, at least in the car that I was in. So it was just like, why is this red light on? I actually think check engine lights might be red on everybody's car, but I don't know. At least then it was in my car, and I was just like terrified because you see like the orange lights. The orange light mean like it's bad, but it's probably okay, right? Like you could probably get there. Like you could probably get the car wherever you need to get it fixed. Red is like I grew up red is dead. So I mean, so red is scary to me. Like so if I see a red check engine light, yeah, I'm like, hold up, what? So even when I was younger, so I'm gonna say no on that one.
That's fair.
I think anybody seeing a check engine light is gonna be like kind of freaked out for sure.
Okay.
All right, last one.
Getting into a heated debate about the proper way to load a dishwasher.
That's grown. That's me.
100%.
Because here's my thing, okay? First of all, I gotta spend this money on to the stuff to wash it with, right? The little stupid pods. I gotta spend this money on that. I pay for water, okay? And I feel like it's a packing issue. Like just in general. Like know how to pack things. It's the same way I feel about packing a cart, packing a suitcase. Like just know how to pack things. Use your space wisely. You don't get that much of it. And I don't and also it takes time to wash dishes, right? Also, I don't know who these people are in this world that think that the dishwasher does all the work. It does not. You need to clean them dishes up before you put them in there. Like I feel like people heard the words dishwasher and they're like, oh my God, like yes, this thing that just completely washes my dishes. So they put these disgustingly soiled, like I'm talking spaghetti noodles. Like what are we doing? It is a dishwasher, not a garbage disposal. Okay, and the drain is not that big. So when you put physical food in the dishwasher, it will clog it. And that's a whole nother bill you got to worry about. Okay. And it stinks.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm definitely one of those people that get pissed off if you don't load it right. First of all, rinse that mother off. Okay. Rinse it off before you put it in there. Yes, I get it. Like, well, what's the point of the dishwasher? Right. I get it. Then wash the dish and you just use it as storage as far as I'm concerned. Because, yes, you need to and that's why I tell people, like, if you're going to use a dishwasher, like when you finish eating, and tell everybody in your house, when you finish eating, rinse it off. Rinse it right then and there. And then you got to worry about like how much work it is to rinse it off before you put it in the dishwasher. Rinse it. Dishwashers are not meant to replace people, okay? This for all y'all lazy ones out there that thought the dishwasher was supposed to do all the work. It don't do all the work. So rinse it, soak it, whatever you need to do. When you put it in there, it should not be extremely soiled. Lightly soiled. Lightly. Okay? And make sure you use the plate area for the plates, the cup area for the cups. Stop playing. Stop putting plates in the cup area. That's not where it go. If they wanted plates up there, they would have made the space between the bottom of that and the top of that more. It ain't. It's for cups. Maybe little small saucers. Okay? But don't be putting no big old plates up there. They don't go up there. Bowls. They go up there. They go up there. Mugs. Small mugs. They go up there. Big mugs down below. Because if it's sideways, it's gonna have nasty, dirty water inside it. It ain't clean. Sorry. Anyway, the answer was grown. Because I only started feeling like that as an adult. When I was a teenager, I ain't give it. I was putting whatever in there. I was definitely one of those people that thought that it's supposed to just go in there.
I'm sure.
All right, here's a bonus one. Being able to identify the theme song to every single preschool show on a streaming platform, like Ultimate Grown or just you're in survival mode.
Wow.
So I think for a newer parent, maybe the answer would be yes. But like where we stand right now, our kids are older and they're not, so they're not preschool, so they're not watching preschool
So
shows.
definitely, if you were to ask me when they were little, like I would probably say yeah, because like Team Umizoomi, all of that, like that was I knew all those songs, like sang with them, like now no.
All right, awesome. So that was our snack time. That was our grown and all. I hope you played along. Make sure you drop your own grown and all scenarios in the comments, and we'll be sure to read the best ones on a future episode. All right, guys. So that's it for this episode of 6-8. Don't forget to hit us up with your feedback or your own hot take. The next episode will be here before you know it. So do not miss it. I'm Ja.
And I'm Michelle.
And as always, remember, from the warm up to the buzzer,
keep your head up and your spirit higher.
See you next time.
Go together.